Her own life was full of twists and turns, secrets and surprises, with narrative threads that intertwined with the fabric of other people's lives. Her story revolved around a 200-year-old cottage on the beach. Driftwood Cottage Bookstore. Her mother had bought the old cottage and turned it into a bookstore, and now Riley was raising her son in the upstairs apartment, her days tuned to the rhythm of the tides and the ebb and flow of customers. The sea-infused air mingled with the scents of ink and paper. The ocean breeze coming through the open windows created a symphony with the creaking walls and groaning bookshelves. The same sand that found its way between Riley's toes was also embedded in the cracks between the uneven floorboards, in the creases of the well-worn upholstered armchairs, and sometimes between the pages of the books. Every morning Riley awoke with anticipation of another day of stories unfolding, stories in the novels she read and in the lives of the customers she served. On the first floor of the cottage, behind a wooden door to the left of the checkout counter, Riley's office desk was half hidden beneath the piles of RSVP cards for the party to be held at the bookstore in a week. She avoided the tedious task of recording these responses by walking toward the book club corner, her favorite nook in the store. Riley sighed as she ran her fingertips lazily across the spines of the books lining the crooked shelves. The stories were old friends that comforted her. The camaraderie of women in the book clubs helped ease the loneliness of being a 32-year-old single mother. Somehow, sitting with the women and discussing the novels, then later their personal stories, had opened Riley's heart to the tenderness of others' hurts. Book clubs acted as a balm on the ache for intimacy. She stood behind the bookshelf and listened while the Beach Babes Book Club talked over and above one another, each woman speaking in the commanding tone of one who believed that what she had to say was more important than what anyone else had to say. Riley smiled, sensing an impending argument brewing. Listening to browsers and book club members, to authors and would-be authors, she'd become an expert at detecting a negative undercurrent. She poked her head around the corner. "Hi, ladies." Seated on upholstered club chairs, their feet propped up on faded green and pink ottomans, coffee cups scattered on the driftwood side tables, the book club waved back and hollered greetings. "Riley," called Lola Martin, her eyebrows raised. "Who was your first love?" "Tom Sawyer," she replied with a crooked smile, slipped a fallen book back onto a shelf. "Interesting question. What book are you all discussing this month?" "Beach Music by Pat Conroy," Lola said. "The main character never stops loving his first love, and we were just wondering who yours was. Tom Sawyer does not count." "Oh, yes, it does." Riley walked into the book club corner's circle, picked up several empty coffee cups. For a 12-year-old bookworm sitting alone on the riverbank, Tom Sawyer made a perfect first love. "You make it sound like he was real," Lola said. "He was." Riley glanced out the window to the front yard, to the ancient live oak spreading its branches toward the earth and sky, circles of light nestled in its curves. "See?" said Ashley Carpenter, bouncing her 6-month-old baby on her lap. "True love and happy endings are only in fairy tales or novels, not in real life." Riley's gaze returned to the group. Lola shook her head. "I'm not saying all true loves end happily, but some do, right?" She looked again at Riley. Ashley laughed. "Well, I'm gonna need some convincing." Riley smiled at the group as several different conversations started up. She said goodbye and returned to her office to face the pile of work. Of course Tom Sawyer wasn't her first love. Mack Logan was. She'd kept this conscious knowledge far from her mind, but some memories haunt the heart. The RSVP cards on her desk brought her thoughts back to the present, to the upcoming party, an ambitious week's worth of events, a celebration intended to draw an influx of cash into the bookstore to help it stay afloat. This party was also in honor of Mama's 70th birthday, a combination Mama believed just could not fail. But of course it could fall short of saving the store. Profits were down and